Here we are, Friday, Savage Friday. Um, I got some bad news. I did something to my back a few hours ago, and it is in like extreme pain. Took a pain pill, so we're waiting on that to kick in. Thankfully, my wife was very helpful in making sure that I got dressed, even though she's pretty pissed that I'm in here doing this, but that's okay. So, a lot of stuff happened this week, and I know that we covered a lot of stuff on the MAGA Midday Show, but I did find some stuff that I thought was kind of interesting. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, just so we know, about a half hour ago, President Trump made a statement on his way back from Texas about the violence towards the ICE officers. So he posted on his True Soldier, he says, "I am on my way back from Texas and watched in disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down a roadway in their car and or official vehicle. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. I know for a fact that these officers are having a hard time with allowing this to happen and that it shows such total disrespect for law and order. Therefore, I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Border Czar Tom Homan to instruct all ICE, Homeland Security, and any other law enforcement officer who is on the receiving end of thrown rocks, bricks, or any other form of assault to stop their car and arrest these slime balls, using whatever means is necessary to do so, and giving total authorization for ICE to protect itself just like they protect the public. I never want to see a car carrying a law enforcement officer attacked again. Authorization immediately granted for arrest and incarceration. Thank you for your attention in this matter." So, naturally, we know that there's still a bunch of tension happening over in the LA area, California, and we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. But I figured, if anything, we should probably take and talk about a few things. So, has anyone been following the cougar sighting? Okay, the cougar sighting. I'm going to get this thing pulled up here. So it's in Rochester, New York, and I guess several people have said that they've seen a cougar, but no one can confirm anything. And so I want to show that to you, which I think is pretty funny. So we're going to start out with the news clip. See if we can head over here to the go to this one. All right, so we got a news clip here. I'm going to go ahead and play this.
The DEC says this does look like some type of cougar, and they say it's probably not wild, but an illegally captured pet that made their escape. That ring footage shows the cougar walking straight past this house and down the sidewalk. I spoke with Jasmine Baez, who was shocked to see anything other than a deer or a dog in her yard.
I was mind blown. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was very shocking again seeing that, because it's just, especially at that time of night, like, damn, you don't see stuff like that out of the blue, like, and then you're just resting and stuff. You get the notification, you check, and you're just like, what the hell is that?
And that is real. There's a viral video going on now on social media.
And the video has just blown up on social media. Did you expect it to catch and go viral like that?
Honestly, no, but due to it being something strange,
TikTok
you know,
famous
again
now.
in the neighborhood like this, I'm not surprised that it caught a lot of attention of a lot of people.
Now the neighborhood is keeping small kids and animals inside and out of harm's way.
My parents do have 2 small dogs, so we're definitely keeping an eye on them when we take them out and stuff and walk them around. We don't want them, you know, to come in contact with this animal, or more so the kids in the area too.
RPD shut down Robert Street, which is literally 3 miles away from me right now, after neighbors there also saw the cougar. Reporting from Grand Avenue, Chrissy Blake.
Now, we have an eyewitness to the cougar sighting. So, if you haven't seen this yet, brace yourselves.
News 10. The DEC says this does look like some type of cougar.
There we go. This is Curtis Jones.
All right, whenever you're ready, your first and your last name first for us.
It's Curtis Jones, Curtis Jones, Jones. And last night I was just walking to the store, you know, going through my little routes, getting my couple little snacks and stuff. And all of a sudden I'm on the side over here and I just see people running and stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on, you know? I was like little nervous. Next thing I know, I just kept walking. I see mad people after I see the people run, I just see some big shit just walking, just right over here, right by the bush. It went right over there. I swear, I promise, it went right over there. And they said, rah! And I just kept walking. I seen me, see it. So in my head, I'm like, nah, I gotta go, man. I'm out. I ain't about to play with nobody. I ain't about to. Look, they probably done seen it right now, so I don't know what's going on, but you gotta keep this bat right here, man. I'm gonna keep this bat right here, man, just in case. I'm gonna protect us. I ain't gonna let nothing happen to us, nothing, okay? All right,
You ever seen anything like that before?
Never. I never seen nothing like that, man.
Right.
Never. I never seen nothing like that. Only on movies. So that's why I was shocked. I didn't know what was going on. Like, is this a movie? Am I getting punked? That's why I just kept walking. Because, you know, in them type of situations, we don't really do good in them type of situations. We just got to keep walking and stay focused, you know. And once it seen me in my
Life
head,
advice from Curtis
breathing.
Jones, everybody.
I ain't wanted to get my scent. I ain't wanted to feel my heartbeat. So I'm like, man, we ain't doing that. Oh, no, we ain't doing that right now, no.
Have you the lookout today? I guess.
Yeah, I've been a little bit of look. I've been more on the nervous side. I'm in the car now. I got my sister car and stuff. I ain't playing. No more on feet for me. No.
All right. Do you normally carry around a bat?
No, man.
What is that? Is that a T-ball
No,
bat?
man, I don't carry around no bat.
That's a
This is
T-ball
my
bat.
son bat. Look how he's
See?
4 years old. He about to go take a little off the tee or something. I brought this for the interview, you know. I just want to protect you and me, man. I ain't gonna hold you, you know. They ain't find it last night. It's still out here. It could be out here in one of these bushes or something. You know, them mountain lions, they be wow, they be crawling and shit. You know, they serious.
Right. I guess. What have you been doing since you saw it?
You know, just trying to stay out that lion way. It might have smelt me. You know, that's why I brought this back.
Well, I
Might
bet.
still remember my scent, so I don't want to be on his radar. I'm trying to stay off of the lion radar, honestly. I don't want to be dealing with that. I don't want to be dealing with no. I'm good.
How close did you get to it?
Listen, it was over here. I ain't get that close, but it made. I heard the roar. I felt that roar. I knew to keep it pushing.
My God. Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones is going to be my next, like, animated meme. Okay? That guy right there, he's fixing to be famous. Just doesn't know it yet. So, this has been going on, like, all day. Like, I woke up to this story. I guess it happened yesterday, but it's finally, like, made its way around, you know? And, so everybody, like, is now throwing, like, a picture of a cougar, like, in their store or in their yard or whatever. Like they're, you know, they're poking fun at it, right? And I was just like, oh my God. And then this guy's interview was like gold. I'm like, oh my God. They found the right guy to interview right here. He's like, rawr. I'm like, oh Lord. You got yourself a winner.
All right. Whenever you're ready, your
All right, so got another one here. So moving on, I want to make sure that we take and we let's see if I can go to this. Why can't I go to that? Trying a new thing tonight. Not really working well. Copy. There we go. All right, moving on here. So over on the Gateway Pundit, I think earlier today, Rev and Speak talked a little bit about this. So a Seattle woman said she believes a shooting that occurred at her home on Sunday may have been politically motivated after a window with Trump stickers and an American flag was shot at. Shooting also damaged a truck with a flag on it, and the police are now investigating. So they played this. If we can get this here to pull up by any chance. I don't really need the audio. I mean, I know you got a lot of Trump and all that, but I mean, that's not helping, you know. It probably, I mean, these two things don't normally go together, but okay. Okay. Whatever. Unfortunate your house got shot at. I am sorry about that, but in Seattle, I mean, what the hell do you expect? I mean, even your own police chief doesn't want to do his job. So, best of luck with Seattle police over here investigating whether or not, you know, they're going to find the guy. I don't know. I don't know about that one. You might be better with, like, going to a different state and see if they'll come and investigate it, because Seattle's nothing more than just sanctuary city. Sanctuary city for criminals. Sanctuary city for illegals. I mean, you name it. That's what they are. They are sanctuary cities. So, moving on. We're going to have a little John Kennedy fun, you know. I don't know if you caught these things. We thought they were rather hilarious. I don't have to let it go on too long, but let's see if we can get this one here to go.
Yes, I do.
And then you said the crypto industry is buying Congress and the White House. This won't end well. Why do you think the crypto industry is buying Senator Gillibrand?
I said, look at the campaign contributions from this industry.
Do you think they've bought her?
No, I said, look at the campaign
You
contributions.
said they bought her. Do you think they bought her?
Senator, you need to focus on this bill instead of trying to distort my Twitter.
Last time, one of my
you
colleagues
were quoting what a Marxist in Chicago said about
And what evidence do you have that she's a crook?
I said there is massive amount of campaign contributions coming into this Congress from the crypto industry.
Do you want to apologize to Senator Gillibrand?
I do not want you to have to apologize for passing legislation
Do you want to
that
apologize
destroys
to
our
Senator
economy.
Gillibrand for calling
you are distorting what I said, just like you did in the last hearing. You're wasting everybody's time, Senator.
You're a whack job.
Senator, you are wasting.
Well, I think we are
next level whack job.
I think we are.
Is this middle school, Senator?
Senators and witness. Thank you both.
I think you should apologize, Senator.
I think, Senator, you're wasting our time. This is not middle school.
Thank you for your participation.
I mean, this is him. This is Senator Kennedy. I mean, honestly, I think he's great. I really do. I think he's great. I think he's fantastic. He had another one here where they were trying to go off. It like starts right out.
Why do we do it backwards?
You got the whole place to laugh.
Well,
amen to that.
That is a legitimate question that I asked when I first joined this committee many years.
So the reason why I kept this one, I mean, because it's not super funny, but what I want you to look at is I want you to look at Mitch McConnell over here, okay? Mitch McConnell over here, where is he at? He's over here, right? So Mitch McConnell, everybody see over here, Mitch McConnell. Now Mitch McConnell looks like he's like catatonic almost, all right? Like he's there physically, but mentally, I think he's checked out. Watch what happens here.
Years ago.
No, and not to mention, like everybody else is at normal speed, but Mitch McConnell is at Mitch McConnell's speed, which is like half of normal speed. Hang on.
It has been the process of the committee, and I would ask that we stick with it today, but I will have a conversation with any members who wish on whether we should change the process. Frankly, it has worked very well in the past to proceed to the votes, then everybody.
I try to think about what's going through his mind right now. Like, he's probably sitting there processing. He's looking around and like, where am I?
He is here, and then
look,
proceed to consider each bill in turn And
At like half the
occasionally
speed.
someone does switch a vote. It doesn't
My
happen very
goodness.
often, but occasionally they do.
Well, my point is that I think it's something we ought to talk about because
I can't. I can't with this guy. I mean, he should not be there. I'm sorry. I mean, he's lost. He's gone. He's checked out, okay? Like, the lights are on, but nobody's home, okay? I mean, good Lord. It's just in a constant state of buffering. That is an accurate description. Him Dodge. That is an accurate description. Barry says vibrating seats are needed. Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking so myself. I am. I'm kind of thinking so myself. So in other news, Secretary of Defense withdraws his admiral nomination over the drag queen show on the naval ship. I find this to be rather interesting. Let's see if we can pull. Can I pull that up? Oh yeah, there we go. So, in May, the Gateway Pundit reported that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth ordered a sweeping purge of senior Pentagon leadership, demanding a 20% reduction in four-star generals and admirals across all branches, including woke leaders. Hegseth's memo framed the cuts as critical or removing redundant force structure to optimize and streamline leadership, but also signaled that Trump administration is rejecting woke policies and returning to rebuilding America's fighting force. In line with those policies, an exclusive report from the Daily Wire reveals that the Defense Department is withdrawing the nomination of Rear Admiral Michael Buzz Donnelly for commander of the 7th Fleet. Under Donnelly's command on the USS Ronald Reagan, hosted a drag performance on board, which included participation from the Yeoman Second Class Joshua Kelly, who performed under the name Harpy Daniels. This picture here, let me blow this up for you so that you can see the disgrace that I'm looking at. Yeah. So this is an actual sailor. Okay. This is a sailor in the Navy in high heels. And it looks like he's in his uniform. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, not to mention, I mean, one, it irritates me that this happened on a Navy vessel to begin with. But the Ronald Reagan? Oh my God. Ronald Reagan is like rolling in his grave right now. He's probably thinking, can you like unname me from the ship? I mean, this is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Why you would allow this on a naval ship is beyond me. But this is what we got under the Biden administration. Okay. Biden administration. This is what we got. We got shit like this. So, I mean, I'm with Hegseth. I mean, listen, we need to get back, to having warfighters, not drag queens. I mean, come on, people. Like, what exactly are you doing? It's almost like they're trying to I don't know, treat the military like a civilian workforce. No, it's not a civilian workforce. It's nowhere clear or nowhere close, I think is the word I was looking for, to anything that would be considered a civilian workforce. Okay? You're not guaranteed 15-minute breaks. You're not guaranteed a lunch. Okay? You have to go to work anytime they tell you to go. Why? Because, well, that's what you signed up for. I don't get it. Here in Florida, I have to, if I want to go to the exchange, I have to go to Patrick Space Force Base now. It was Patrick Air Force Base. And I go there. Meanwhile, it's been it's been some years since I've wanted to go to a base, but anyways, I had to go and get my new military ID, and so took a trip to Patrick. We get to the gate, and there's two guys there, and they got beards. At first, from a distance, it didn't really like process with me until they started checking their IDs, and then it dawned on me. I'm like, wait a minute, you're in the military, you can't have a beard. So I didn't say anything, and being that was my first time there, they directed me over to the visitor center so that I could get a day pass until I got my ID card. So I go in there, and I see one airman that's nice, clean shaven, looks good. It's got a nice high and tight, uniforms put together. And then I see three others and a female. And the three males that are there all have beards. Now, some of them don't have like a beard. They got like a patch and maybe a patch and a patch, okay? Like, you'd been better off if you just shaved it off, okay? I mean, for the love of God. So we get out of there, and I tell my wife, I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't believe there's all these people that look like this. This looks awful. Like, it's just not military, right? So anyways, got our IDs and whatnot, and you know, right around this time, my son was in basic for the Space Force, and we only got to talk to him like 2 or 3 times the whole time he was in basic, which is fine, no big deal. But on one of the calls, I asked him, I'm like, hey, your like grooming standards change? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, why has everybody got beards? And he's like, oh, well, if you have a religious issue, then you can take and you can have a beard. I'm like, what kind of religious issue would that be? Because I'm thinking like Southern Baptist is probably not going to qualify. So, I don't know. I don't know what religion you need to be, but hey, okay. It's not the same AR 670-1 we grew up with. Yeah, I know. So yeah, I'm pretty disappointed about this. This right here, you know, honestly, this admiral, this rear admiral, shouldn't have never have allowed this to happen. And given the fact that he did, instead of going for a promotion, you should have retired. Should have resigned your commission. You should have just moved on with your day and went out and been a community activist or something for these people, because maybe your time would be better served, because frankly, I don't need you in my military. So I thank you for the service that you've given, but at this point, I think it's time for you to go. So have a great day. Happy retirement. My back is killing me. It's killing me. It really is, people. Oh. So the next thing I want to talk about is the dangers of law enforcement, and this is going to lead into the LA riot thing here in a few minutes. As many of you know, I have worked as a law enforcement officer, a corrections officer for the last 2 decades, and this job is extremely dangerous. It doesn't really matter what type of community you work in. At any moment, you could be attacked, you could be shot at, you could be responding to a call, and it completely goes sideways. So, we're going to show you this here video. This officer is on a traffic stop with the lady that's in the car. And This gentleman walks up, and I'll let you watch the video for yourself because it's pretty horrific.
I promise next time you see me, it'll have it.
Light gray box at the bottom.
Light gray?
Yeah, just down there. Perfect. Not an admission of guilt, just stating that you show up on or before the court date, okay?
I don't have to as long as it's paid.
Stop! Stop!
Hey, start me another. Start me another.
Stop!
Stop!
Trying to grab the officer's gun right now.
Just do me a favor, man. I f***ed up my life.
Yes!
I only ask.
What do you need? Take the knife away from him. Sir?
I only ask.
Say drop it, drop it, drop it. Sir, drop it.
You do me this favor.
Sir, drop it. Drop it, sir. Sir, drop it. Please drop it. Please, don't hurt anybody. Please, in the name of God. Get on my radio. Please don't drop anybody. Don't drop it. Sir, drop it. Sir, drop it. Stop.
Shoot me, man. I got nothing to live for.
This was earlier this year. It was actually May 1st of this year. Thankfully, there was a good Samaritan that showed up to try and help. And it just reminds me how important it is to be vigilant, you know, to pay attention to your surroundings and know that in any direction a threat may appear. This gentleman walked up on this officer, and the officer responded, you know, and he said something to the officer, to get his attention. And the officer was extremely cordial. And he's like, yes, sir. And then the guy starts spraying him with pepper spray and then stabs him in the head during the struggle with like a screwdriver or a knife. Obviously, you can see that the officer is, he's hurt. And this is a fight for his life. It really is. Thankfully, this Good Samaritan showed up and it helped them out. So,
I want you to look at.
I want you to look at this. This was yesterday.
Take a look at this video right here. It appears a protester fired some kind of gun at federal agents. This happened this afternoon. It was a really chaotic scene at the time. A lot of smoke was being launched at the protesters. And again, it appears a protester fired back with that weapon. It looks like he fired at least a couple of times. We have not heard about any agents being hurt.
So this right here is a great example of why Donald Trump put out that statement tonight. You know, I mean, there is another video where they are throwing the bricks and stuff into the vehicle, and I mean they are getting in the vehicle. Like they broke the glass and the rocks and bricks that they're going into the vehicle. So it's pretty bad, and it's really getting to an issue that I have a hard time trying to understand where these people are coming from. So you would think that incidents like this, and you know, the brick throwing and all of the violence that we've seen against law enforcement in California would have the leadership of California saying, hey, we need to be doing something. We can't let this lawlessness continue. Well, here's the problem, because we're going to click over this other screen real quick, but the people that are leading California, they are lawless. They allow people to stay there illegally. They do everything in their power to prevent law enforcement from doing their job. Okay. The mayor of Los Angeles, like on the behalf of the city of Los Angeles, has filed a lawsuit to try and stop ICE from being able to do their job completely in Los Angeles. Honestly, I don't even know what law you would preface as why that would be something that you feel you need to file a lawsuit about. But that's what these Democrats do. They utilize the justice system, right? They go and they try to find them the most corrupt, liberal breathing judge out there, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay, well, because you're a Democrat and I'm a Democrat and I don't like Trump, so yeah, I'm going to grant you an injunction. No, it's not how this works. You know, it's really gotten pretty bad. So, let's see here. So, see what I got here. It's 4 days ago. New immigrant support initiative. Oh my goodness. There we go.
Some breaking news here. LA Mayor Karen Bass about to sign an executive order in support of LA's immigrant communities.
And this takes place following weeks of raids and arrests by federal immigration agents. Let's go ahead and listen in.
While we are proud of our city's heritage, this is also a space of difficult history that unfortunately shares a stark parallel to what we're seeing today. In 1931, our plaza here was the site of the forced repatriation of U.S. citizens of Mexican heritage, where raids occurred on unsuspecting visitors to Olvera Street. It's a sad history, but a powerful reminder of what we're facing today. The fear and trauma of so many back then has once again been awakened across our city. But there's also another history, one rooted in hope, unity, and solidarity. Here was where in the 1980s, Father Luis Olivares of the iconic Placita Church, just across the street, initiated the sanctuary movement, declaring the Placita as a sanctuary and safe space for all immigrants and refugees. And myself, as a child of immigrants, I recall those days as an LA kid. I will never forget the news coverage of our own Mayor Tom Bradley standing side by side in solidarity with the sanctuary movement.
And thank you so much for recalling that tradition. You were a young child, I wasn't. But I remember Father Olivares very well and remember that movement, and that movement continues today and is represented by the people who are standing here with me. So the organizations that are represented, and some you will hear speak today, CHIRLA, the Salvadorian American Leadership and Educational Fund, the Asian Pacific Islander Equity Alliance, Community Coalition, Inclusive Action, and SEIU USWW, continuing the...
Oh, so what we should do is we should get all of these organizations, okay, and FBI, the FBI, I don't know if you're noticing, but those organizations sound like they're in support of something that's, I don't know, illegal, maybe in support of criminality, maybe in support of terrorist activity. Might want to investigate. Okay, whatever you do, don't put it on Pam Bondi's desk because we don't know where it'll go.
The tradition of solidarity in our city. I am here today to sign an executive directive, and I just want to point out the irony for a minute, that there is a need for me to have an executive directive to help our city understand how to protect itself from our federal government. Just let that sink in for a minute. What we have seen here over the last now going on 6 weeks of raids that pop up and we never know exactly when and where they're going to happen.
Yeah, it's
We've
kinda
seen them in the general
that way.
region. I'm sure many people saw Camarillo yesterday and what broke out there. We saw MacArthur Park earlier this week, which I think now, after all assessments, it is viewed as just a display of force, just to put the city in its place, to say we are the federal government, we can roll out troops whenever we choose. So the executive directive that I will be signing in a few minutes is to help the city family, to help the city workforce, to help the city departments and all of the general managers essentially develop preparedness plans that have specific protocols and that help city workers know how to address immigration officials should they approach a city department. How we abide by the law, but we understand what our rights are as city employees, how we can provide protection for immigrants who might be attending a city event or at a city property, but we stay within the law. That we make sure that people that work with city contractors ensure that they are safe on city property. So you might have heard that a few days ago there were city contractors who were working and ICE.
Did you guys watch that? Did you watch this, Durango? Hang on, let's watch that again.
Sure that they are safe on city property. So you might have heard that a few days ago there were city contractors who were working and ICE rolled up on them and asked for ID and was inappropriate. And so even people that contract with the city, we want them to understand what their rights are. We want each department to have an...
My goodness. My goodness. So let me see if we can take and we can find Mayor Bass executive directive. Maybe it's today. Apparently she writes a lot of these things. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's see here. Let's see. Now, as signed an executive director to support Los Angeles immigrant communities in the wake of unlawful raids conducted by the federal government. Wow. Okay. She has instructed city departments to bolster their protocols and training to prepare for federal immigration activity occurring on city property, establishes an LAPD working group, and expands access to resources for impacted families. Or the order also seeks records from the federal government on unlawful raids from federal agencies. I'm kind of curious, where are these unlawful raids at? Like, can someone point me out? Mayor Bass? Mayor Bass, I don't know if you're watching this, but I'm curious. Do you have like a list of where you've seen these unlawful raids at? I'm kind of curious. Just, for the sake of, trust, but verify. Let's see here. So it requires all departments to bolster protocol. Seeks key records. Yeah, we explained that. Expands access to resources in city departments. Oh, there's another one here. Executive number 12. All right, so that was okay. All right. She directs all city departments to develop and implement a preparedness plan, including department-specific protocols. Yeah, okay. All right, so it's the same thing. It kind of breaks it down even more. I mean, I'm kind of curious what these protocols are going to do. I mean, are they going to be a hindrance to federal authorities? I mean, is that what she is directing her departments to do at this point? I mean, to basically put in writing how to interfere with federal law enforcement? Because, I mean, if that's what they're doing, well, kudos to them, because obviously got to be stupid, right? But then again, they are pretty dumb. So go ahead, put that stuff in writing. Let us know how the city is going to take and act so that it can prevent illegal immigrants from being arrested by federal authorities, and put this all in writing. That way, whenever we take you to jail, we have good evidence to know that you're an idiot. I mean, how stupid can you possibly be at this point? I hereby direct my office to transmit a federal Freedom of Information request to the U.S. Immigration in order to obtain records regarding the dates and location of all enforcement activities in Los Angeles, the identities of individuals and reasons they were arrested or detained, and policies governing both federal officers' use of badges and other forms of identification, as well as masks or other methods that obscure identification. Aha. I see. Furthermore, I direct the Information Technology Agency to provide 311 with Know Your Rights information covering the basic legal rights of individuals regardless of status, and ways to connect residents with city departments that offer services, information, or training. Now, I will say that this one section here about her getting her little Freedom of Information Act, talking about the dates and locations of all of the enforcement that has taken place and the people that they have so far arrested or detained. I do think that they do need to, at least provide that information, simply for the fact that it's not like these people showed up yesterday, okay, and you just now catching them. These people have been here for years, at least a good portion of them. So, in all fairness, to be a human being, at least let their family know, or provide the information so their family can find out, hey, Juan, Jose, he got arrested. He go down to the pokey. It's okay. So yeah, interesting. Very interesting there. Wow. Just wow, So I don't know if we've talked about it before. I'm trying to get the Republican gubernatorial candidate, Sheriff Chad Bianco. He is the sheriff of Riverside County in California, and I'm trying to take and get him. I send an email and it takes like a week to get responded to, but they are responding, so that's good. So I'm hoping to get him actually here on the show live if possible, given the time difference over there. It would be perfect to start right out at 9 o'clock on a Friday night. It'd be 6 o'clock over there, and go straight into an interview with him. So he said, and let's see if I can get it pulled up here real quick. There he is. Okay. So this was posted 11 hours. He says, another peaceful protest. These violent rioters were attempting to stop a federal law enforcement from serving a legitimate federal warrant at a cannabis farm. Where are our state leaders, and why are they condoning these dangerous actions? He brings a great point. This is a fantastic point. I mean, come on, people. Well, I mean, just look at this.
It appears a protest.
There's the same video again. I don't understand. How can you be running for governor? Or in Gruesome Newsom's case, okay, he wants to be president. This is the kind of anarchy that we're going to get with him as president. He's going to let criminals walk all over law enforcement. He's just going to let them throw bricks and stuff at their car. If you're trying to collapse the society of America, if you're trying to collapse America, the first thing that you really need to do is you need to be able to control, who has the guns, who is law enforcement. So if you don't like the people that are in law enforcement because they are, about obeying the law and enforcing the laws that we have and, and upholding and defending our Constitution, and you're going to have to get rid of us. And you're going to have to put your own people in. Okay? Your own people. Your own people, boy, let me tell you. You want to know what your own people looks like? Let's see if we can figure out. Oh, here we go. Yep. This is what your own people looks like. Okay? This is Newsom's people right here. These are the people that are going to take and they're going to start being law enforcement. Okay. They're going to send the rest of us home, all of the, the experienced law enforcement officers, federal law enforcement, all of us, we're going to get replaced by women that want to be men and men that want to be women or somewhere in between. Okay. We're going to immediately go back to the DEI hires. We're going to do all those things. And this is what the future of America looks like if Newsom becomes your president. Let that sink in for a minute. If Newsom becomes your president, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to get. I'm just telling you. You're going to see more of this. It's going to be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, I didn't get to finish my show for today. As far as the information I was putting here on my little notes, but I got about 10 minutes left before I'm going to have to go. I'm going to cut it early tonight, and I am sorry about that. Let's catch up with the chat real quick here. M. Dodge says he has for years, but he will come out soon with the lip service. He's going to take a run at the 28th presidential race. Anyone with a marijuana card can be stripped of their gun rights in California. Well, by the feds, he says. Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, there's a serious issue here with marijuana, okay? I mean, ever since I became a cop, we've arrested people for marijuana. I mean, God, like, you can drive down the road behind someone, okay? Turn your recycled air conditioner off, and then the smell of their car in front of you will start coming through your air conditioner. And if they're the only car that's, on the road with you, and it smells like weed, guess what? We're going to pull you over. Or if I pull you over for something else and I smell weed, and I'm going to search, I'm going to find it, I've arrested a lot of people for weed because it's easy. It's so easy. Okay? I wish fishing was as good as arresting people with marijuana. I'd have a lot of fish. Just saying. I'd have a lot of fish. So, my biggest issue is the simple fact that, for whatever reason, okay, I'm not in the federal government. I don't work for the federal government. But if I did, President Trump, if you're listening, I'd like you to create a new agency called the FAFO department. And I'll be the director. I'll let you figure out what the rest goes on there. But someone scheduled marijuana as a drug. It is a scheduled drug. I think it's a Scheduled 4 drug, if I'm not mistaken. And that is the reason why it is illegal to possess, to ingest, to grow, manufacture, or sell it. Okay? Because according to federal law, it is a controlled substance. Okay? Even though it's naturally grown, it is a controlled substance. I mean, let's think about this. Cocaine is a naturally grown substance, okay? I mean, granted, it takes quite a bit to take and make it, but, you got a whole cocoa farm, you get the cocoa leaves, you smush all the cocoa leaves, you pour a bunch of chemicals in the cocoa leaves, you squish them a lot more, and eventually you start getting, the cocoa kind of paste, and you're flattening it all out, and it dries out, and you do it all over. Listen, they make cocaine, okay? It comes from a plant. Marijuana is a plant, okay? I mean, either legalize it or something. I mean, come on. Like, this should not be this complicated. So many states have already legalized it in their own state. They've created some method of, maintaining it, except for Colorado, okay? Colorado, I don't think you need a medical marijuana card or anything like it's recreational there, okay? Which is a booming industry for them, apparently. Like they make good money in the taxes, from what I understand. But what exactly does that does for your community? I mean, I'm not a marijuana person. I think maybe given the fact that I've arrested so many people, I've been around it for so long, is the simple fact that, God, it gives me a headache, and having a headache all the time is certainly not going to make me feel better. Here in Florida, a lot of people, they use it with or without a medical marijuana card. They take that chance, and they think that, because other people have a medical marijuana card, nobody will question whether or not they're allowed to have it. When they've actually got it now, it's in the vapes and everything, and I'm sorry, it smells horrible. Okay? It smells nasty. It smells horrible. I can't handle the smell. And personally, I would prefer, if they were to legalize it, that they only legalize it in like an edible form, because I don't have to worry about smelling it. So I mean, that's kind of like, hey, you can do it, kind of like alcohol. Like, listen, I can sit, 4 feet away from a guy that's drinking a beer and I'll never smell the alcohol. Okay. It's still controlled, by age, verifying an ID. But listen, marijuana is like smoking. Okay. Like here in the state, we ban smoking of cigarettes in public areas. Like you can't do it, you don't do it. So you don't run into a lot of smoke. But what you do run into now is, these guys and gals in their cars with their kids. I mean, God, they open the door up and you're like, oh my God, I'm kind of munchy right now. What's going on? Okay. That's how bad some of these people are. So that's really something that is, not good for me. All right. Well, with a few more minutes, like I said, my back is really hurting. I took a pain pill, thankfully, before I came and sat in here, or else I don't think I would have been able to make it this long. I got some ideas of what we're gonna do, what we're gonna talk about next week, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna give you a little insight right now. We're gonna take a deep dive into what's happening about the Epstein files, and I'm sure you've seen some of the news where there's accusations that Dan Bongino and even Kash Patel may be resigning if Pam Bondi does not resign. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I've seen it on a couple news outlets. Obviously, we know that Dan Bongino didn't go to work last Friday, but official sources are saying that he's still there. It's interesting, but it's also sad at the same time, because if these two guys that we know want to do the right thing are unable to do their job, we're gonna be living in the same kind of justice system that we had previously. Yeah, there's not really going to be any change. If you're going to take and you're going to, cover stuff up, sweep it under the rug, and I don't care what party you're in. If you do that, you're wrong. You're just wrong. So I'm hoping and that I'm right, that Kash and Dan have the integrity that they do. I know Dan does for a fact. He's one of the most honest people, especially in the celebrity light and the law enforcement light. I mean, he's highly recommended, reviewed so much. You got to pray for Dan. I mean, he gave up a lot to come and serve his country in this role, to do the right thing, to make sure that we exposed the corruptness that's in our justice system, that's in our government. And even though I was in full support for Pam Bondi as Attorney General, and she was my Attorney General here in Florida, she's not the same Pam Bondi. Something's different. Something's different. And, I'm really hopeful that, someone could talk some sense into the president, because you can't put out a memo and then the very next day not expect to get questions about it. Like, you're gonna get questions about it. So that's kind of my take on that. We're also going to see if we can drum up some information regarding the Butler assassination attempt. I'm sure you saw that there were 6 Secret Service agents that were suspended. Working on trying to see if we can get that information as well by next Friday's show. So those are the 2 key things that I'm looking at next week. We'll probably also do a deep dive into Karen Bass. She's got quite the lengthy history. If you haven't found that out yet, she's quite the charmer. And maybe even Gavin Newsom. And listen, if Sheriff Chad Bianco can get with me next Friday for the podcast, or even earlier in the week, we can record it and then show it to you next Friday while we're live. I think that'll be really good too. So I'm reaching out to folks. I'm trying to get us some people to interview on here. But I do thank you all for coming out tonight. I truly appreciate it. I'm sorry I can't stay longer. I'm in a lot of pain, and yeah. So I will see you folks soon. Not sure if I'll be here Monday yet, but we'll see how the emergency room visit goes, and I'll let you know. All right. You all have a good night. Have a great weekend. Be safe, and God bless.